Yeah.
All right. With Donovan Hunter to Leah von Oelhoffen with identical 16.4 assists, 2 steal stat lines tonight. Head coach Scott Ruick. Scott, would you like to open us up?
Sure. Well, this is a great win. I mean, Colorado's a great team. They proved that right out of the gate. Every mistake we made, they made us pay for it. This game today got us to a different level, and the progression that we've been on through conference so far has done that. From the opening game where we had to answer the bell against Oregon in the second half to going down to LA and learning, through success, but also a couple tough games, to coming home and finding a way against Arizona, to the Bay last week. We just have been getting better and better, and it kind of just all came together today against a very good team that expects to win. They've been there, they've done that. I mean, they beat LSU this year, and so for our team to be gritty and tough and to match that, to out-rebound them, and, just shows who we are. I mean, I've been saying it for a little while, it just feels all the things are in place for this team, and we just need experience together. And now we're getting it, and now they're believing that they can be on the court with anybody. And so Beaver Nation was amazing today, and it was just a fun atmosphere. It's what you play for, and just couldn't be prouder of this team for finding a way.
Scott, first the men's team last night, now you guys tonight. What's in the water in Corvallis the last couple days?
I'm so happy for the guys. I mean, I watched that game, and that was fun. This men's team is just so fun to watch, and I was just happy for them. I mean, that was an unbelievable shooting performance in the second half. That was incredible. Then nothing even hit the rim, and so that was special. And then for us, this feels kind of just like a progression, that coincided with it. It's odd to be home the same weekends. This year the conference schedule's different that way, where we get to be. And so, yeah, Beaver Nation, just, that's a great 24 hours right there. But I think, I don't know, man. I'm just happy for Beaver Nation. I mean, we've kind of been drugged through it, as you know, this year. And so, putting smiles on people's faces and reminding them who we are and reminding everybody who we are feels good.
There were moments in this game you guys needed sparks. Specifically, I think of the third quarter where you get an illegal screen that I don't think anybody in the building agreed with, and then you guys bounced back from that with, I think it was a layup, and then it was a three-pointer from Adley. Just how important were those moments and what you got out of those moments?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think that is becoming who this group is. We know how to respond to adversity, and we're not thrown off our game by it. That's a sign of a good team. I mean, we know we have talent, and so we have the hope in that. and so I think those things maybe just fuel us now instead of make us go, oh, here we go, in a negative way. And so, yeah, I think this team is extremely resilient. They want to win. Now they believe that they should. And that's a sign of a great team.
Another one of those moments in the second quarter, you guys are down by 10. Donovan goes off for 6 points in a row. It sparks a 10-0 run. You guys are right back in the game, and it feels like a different game from that point forward. Just what did you get out of Donovan in that second quarter, and what did it mean to you guys?
That was the stretch of the game. I mean, she was ready to play, and I thought set the tone for us from the first minute. Her defense was phenomenal. Sherrod is, I mean, we joke she's the fastest player in America, and she actually might be.
Not a joke.
Yeah, not a joke. I mean, when you watch her run, it's actually just a blast to watch her run. It's fun to watch their game film. They get a steal, how fast she leaks out, she gets a rebound, she's gone. And so a huge part of this game is defensive transition, and Donovan identifies as a defender, at her absolute core, and took that challenge on and executed absolutely flawlessly against her, I thought, for however many minutes she played, and which was a lot today. And then set the tone for us offensively, though, by coming out and knocking down that first jumper. It's 2-0 Beavs, and she knocks down a 15-foot pull-up, and knowing they're probably going to go under screens on her. Then, we lose momentum. They get it. They go up. We're reeling. And then, coaching staff, Jonas mentioned, hey, let's run this ball screen and get them into a switch, and we'd worked on that. And I'm like, yep. And Donald took advantage of that and went to the rim 3 times in a row and finished. And so I thought that stretch in the game was obviously probably the key stretch in the entire game, but she's a great player, and she's figuring it out, and now I think she's believing and understanding who she is and can be, against the very best.
Donovan, I wanted to ask your perspective on the same question. It looked like really early on, even if you had a different matchup on offense, you were transitioning over to Sherrod in defense. Was that something you went to coach earlier in the week and said you really wanted to man her up all game, or how did that work out, and how did you feel about your own performance?
Yeah, I didn't go to them. They put that task on me. But I mean, I've watched her last year, watched all the film. We knew what we had to do because she probably is the fastest person. So the coaches, just props to them. They did an amazing job teaching me how to learn throughout this huge game. I mean, nerves could have got to me, but huge support system. We did what we could do. They told me to find her in transition. If she got it, just sprint back. So I listened.
For sure. It for all three of you, it just looked like you guys were having a really good time out on the court tonight. You were all super hyped on big shots, and I don't think I've ever seen anyone as happy as Adley was after she hit that three. But what was just kind of the energy on the court, and how fun was that game?
Yeah, I think we just know how hard Colorado works, and they're dogs, and they play with a lot of passion, so we just had to match that, and it's really easy to do with the fans that we get, and Gil's starting to fill up a lot more, and so we just love each other, and we love playing, going out there and competing, and so it's really easy to, we talked about not celebrating too much because the ball's coming at us fast, but we celebrated as much as we could, and that just gives us momentum, and that's just who this team is, and it's super fun and easy to build off of, and we're just out there having a good time, and good things happen.
Scott, you talk about that matchup at point guard. I mean, that's a tough assignment for anybody but a freshman point guard. What about Donovan do you see in her that makes her ready for that kind of moment, that kind of matchup? Obviously delivering in a big way today, but then everything is also ahead of her. But specifically, how do you know she would be ready for it?
Well, I think we're all learning, but I think we know from the beginning, just meeting her, that she has both the talent and the character to go with it that would allow her to execute right away. She's smart. She isn't fazed by anything. She has such an amazing perspective on life where it's just, okay, that's just another player. She's a really good player, but it's another player. And this is what I need to do to stop her. Okay, I can do that. And then she makes a mistake. Okay, I'll figure that out. I think what she did to keep them out of transition and make them really work and help hold them down with the 62 with all the free throws today, some probably mid-50s normally, is even, I think, even better than that is that she played against Colorado's pressure with one turnover in all those minutes. And that's the thing that they do so well. They get out in transition, they turn people over. It's what they do. And they help a lot. They help from random angles at random times, and then they have 3 elite guard defenders that are willing to work as hard as possible to get the ball from you. And she weathered all that, So I think it's just the way she approaches life that goes along with all the talent that she has and the understanding of the game, and how, just absolutely humble that she is, and just willing to do whatever you ask and whatever the team needs, So she's ready for this for all those reasons.
For both players, I know this team has been right there against some of the top teams in the country, didn't quite get over the hump on the road. But to beat a number 3 team, a team that beat the defending national champions already, does this kind of tell Oregon State that you are kind of right there and this could be a real big springboard for the rest of the season?
Yeah, for sure. I think this is the toughest place to play in the pack, and everyone's kind of losing on the road this year. It's tough to win on the road in this conference. So we're taking on that challenge and ready to get over that hump of getting those ranked wins on the road for sure. But this is just a great environment, and it's really easy to play passionately and perform well in front of the crowds that we get and in front of Beaver Nation. And so, yeah, I'm just super proud of this group.
Scott, understanding that there's still 6 weeks left of the regular season, how good is this team? You've been around. You've seen a lot of teams. What's your feel for where this team stands?
Yeah. The development of Our point guards, the development of the depth in the wing, or just a consistent development. And then to have 4 bigs, that you can rotate. And now Sela's progress, she's out there in big minutes and giving us great minutes. We have depth at every position. We have elite playmakers. We have dominant posts and great three-point shooters. And now I think the most important thing that's happening, considering all that, is they've bought into the defensive end. And you saw how hard we played and how disciplined we were today. Colorado's not easy to guard. They carved up Stanford 2 weeks ago and actually made Stanford look kind of bad defensively during a stretch, which is not easy to do. And we were so locked in, so because of that, our ability to take care of the ball, why would I not think we could play with anyone? That's what I believe with this team. And so they showed all the signs, and they have all the intangibles that our great teams have. Now they've gained experience enough to beat, the third-ranked team in the country.
Coach, early on, were you calling certain plays for Donovan, or were you just letting her do her thing?
There's a time for everything. And when, your point guard is getting hounded, the last thing you want is them looking at you. You want them just playing. And so we were picking our spots, but I trust, our players to be able to get us into something when it's not possible to look over. I also know that against Colorado, you need to help them as much as, I was in the game today, just helping us work together to figure out the best ways to score against a great defensive team. And so it was a combination of both.
And Talia, obviously you're excited now, but early on you seemed a bit frustrated in the game. What caused that?
I think that's a crazy question. I don't know. I think just I turned it over early, wasn't hitting shots, made a couple mistakes defensively, so just wasn't playing the way that I should be playing, I guess, in that first quarter. And then I think Donovan really just turned the whole game around and shifted the momentum, and I kind of just built off that and fed off of her, and then just did my best to lock up on the defensive end and just let everything else come to me, and just kept bringing energy and leadership and controlling what I could control.
Donovan, you talked a little bit about the assignment with Sherrod, but just the moment overall, given everything that you've gone through before this, mentally, how did this feel coming into it? A top 5 team in front of your home crowd, and you're going to get the start as usual, but just how mentally did you handle that? And maybe what did you learn from those past games that equipped you for this tonight?
Yeah, the past games that we've had, I've had mistakes for sure. Being a freshman, you go through a lot of different random things, and you have to learn, unfortunately, by your mistakes, whether that's turnovers or not executing or anything that you can think of. I think switching your mindset, and I think everyone on our team did, having the confidence within each other. To win a game, you have to believe in every single person. And I think throughout these games, whether we're winning them or losing them, I think it's clicked in our heads. So the trust that we have within each other calms me down. Everyone, before the game, T looked at me and was like, "This is your game, believe in yourself." So just the small things. I can only try to control my mental spot so much, so having the support of them helps me, especially with these huge games.
And you guys can feel free to answer this one. Someone asked about Adley's three-pointer that came off of that illegal screen that you guys didn't like. How important, the Stars did so well tonight that her production may kind of go under the wayside here. How important is the energy that she brings to your guys' team?
I'll take this one. Adley's just a dog, man. Not a lot of people can not play a game or play 1 or 2 minutes in a game and then turn around and get however minutes she got and have the impact that she has. She could not play the whole game. You could put her in the end of the fourth quarter, and she wants that shot. She wants that moment. And you see the passion that she plays with. Adley hitting a 3 is the most exciting thing that could possibly happen in Gill, in my opinion. And so she's just a dog, and she works. She's in the gym shooting every morning. I see her in there, regardless of if she's getting in the game or not. And that's incredible character and just work ethic. And I can't say enough good things about Adley and what she brings to this team. And she's also just super funny to be around and makes everyone laugh and just uplifts everyone, and just an amazing person. And so she deserves that moment, and she deserves everything that she gets.
Mm-hmm.
You made, Talia, at the end of the third quarter, you made a steal and then used your veteran guile to earn a spot at the free throw line. What are you thinking in that situation as you're making that play with the clock running out? How do you play that?
Yeah, I think it was Reagan that got the deflection. The ball kind of just came to me. I didn't really do anything on that. Just saw it on the ground, and then I had no idea how much time was on the clock, so I just tried to take my eyes to the clock as fast as I could, and I remember seeing 1.4, so I just let it go, and honestly, she just fouled me. That was kind of not a smart play by them. I didn't even try to draw a foul, so I don't know. But, yeah, that was definitely a good momentum for us.
And then that experience, what's it like? Full gym, nobody on the lane, just you and the ball kind of there. What's it like shooting the free throws in those situations?
Yeah, I couldn't hit a shot, but I can make a free throw. That's one thing I can do. So I was just focusing on that. And I'm very confident at the free throw line. And when the game's on the line, I want to be the one shooting the free throws. And I've always been that way. So not thinking a whole bunch, just doing my routine.
And then how big, Coach, what was stretching that advantage to 6 and giving you a cushion that you really never gave away in that fourth quarter?
Yeah. I mean, it was a great break for us. It's not something you could have counted on. It was just one of those things that happened. I mean, hitting a half-court shot, that's the equivalent, and so we'll take it. And I think when you get an advantage in a game like this, we definitely wanted to keep it, and our defense allowed us to. We were grinding against their zone. We hadn't seen a zone. We haven't seen a zone in a long time, actually, since Oregon, actually. And so then not an extended period, and then we had to adapt to that. And I thought that's a big part of the game that we haven't discussed yet, was how well we adapted against their zone and found ways to score when that was kind of a new look for us, in that environment, in that situation. And so, so that was a great separator for us.
Last one back here.
Scott, when you guys came back from your first big conference road trip, you said that you thought your young players learned that the little things really do stack up in a big way. Looking back from that moment to now, how much have you improved with your young players in the small things, and how big was that tonight?
I thought that's the reason. I mean, the LA trip, getting to play those two teams right out of the gate, and then Stanford early, and Cal too, but Stanford in particular last week. I mean, you get exposed. Like every weakness gets exposed, in those three gyms in particular. And so it couldn't have been better for us for a learning situation, and credit the team for not being discouraged in those losses, but to watching film, sometimes things that aren't fun to watch, and taking it and making yourself better immediately. And that's what this group's done. And when I say this team wants to win, that's what I mean. I mean, they are hungry for knowledge. They're hungry to watch film, even the hard stuff, and they apply it immediately. And nobody's moping around, feeling like, oh, I'm getting picked on. I mean, like, a bad team does that. A good team is like, I want more. Like, coach me more, make me better. And that's the vibe. So those mistakes early led to Dono being able to play with only one turnover today, led to us as a team being able to defend against this team and out-rebound this team. All those little things are adding up for us. And, so I'm so impressed, by how much growth there is, and that was evident today.
All right. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you. See you
Thank
Sunday.
you. Go Beavs.